Hey guys, Lost here. So here are 6 survival games that I have played in the past few years that I think everybody should try out. This isn't necessarily in the best to worst order, but I hope you guys enjoy anyway. So let's start off first with State of Decay. It was developed by Undead Labs and first released on June 5th, 2013. State of Decay is a third-person zombie survivor simulator. You'll have to take your group of survivors, save many different people across the area, and build up one base out of many different bases you can choose from. You'll have to face challenges like saving other survivors, defending yourself against zombie hordes, gathering resources, and building up your base as well as command posts around the area. The resources in the game are finite, so you have to make the most out of what you have. You can gather all the loot and gear and give them to your survivors, each one with their own unique skill set, so you have to know how to equip them if you want them to be the most efficient as possible. There are also different survivor communities around the area you choose to live in. You might have to help them get supplies or defend them if they're being overrun by zombies. Each character is also unique and it has a fantastic storyline, and one thing that is unique about this game is that no character is immune to dying. So the set of characters you get at the beginning of the game might die right away, and you might have to play the game with a completely different set of characters or whoever you pick up. So if you get attached to one person and they die, it's kind of heartbreaking. This was one of the first games that I had played on console when I was looking for a game that was like DayZ because I didn't have a PC at the time. Though it is very different than DayZ, it is still kind of a staple of what a zombie survival should be, and I definitely think that the term zombie survival simulator fits it well. I really enjoyed playing it, and I really think you guys should play it too. Up next, we have Reign of Kings. Reign of Kings is a medieval third-person multiplayer survival game that was released on December 15th, 2015 by the developers Codehat. However, it was in alpha for a while, able for people to play. Reign of Kings is a third-person medieval survival game. You can form your own guild, craft weapons, armor, and build structures. The building system is a lot like Minecraft, where you can place blocks of a certain type next to each other. There's also a sort of king system, which I happen to really like in the game. The king is allowed to tax the population or the players in the server based upon the resources that they gather. Because of the way that it's kind of set up, it is really easy to roleplay in this game if that's your kind of thing, and super easy to drop a lot of hours, and personally I had a ton of fun playing this game. There is a permadeath system, so whenever you die, all of your items are dropped on the ground, whether that's from a creature that kills you or another player. All of your items are now able to be picked up by somebody else that happens to walk by, which I like. I am a fan of the whole permadeath thing because it adds a whole nother sense of realism into the game. You can hunt, fish, farm, and build bases in the game, whether that's a giant castle or a simple one-person home. It can be any size or shape you like. It is completely player driven, which I really like. The game is not as popular as it used to be, but it is still a blast to play anyway, and I definitely recommend checking it out if you can get onto a server. Now, up next at number 4, we have Far Cry Primal. Far Cry Primal is a single-player game that was released by Ubisoft on February 29th, 2016. The game takes place in the year 10,000 BC in Central Europe in the land of Oros. You play as the main character Takar, who is a member of the Wenja tribe. You must rebuild your village by rescuing other members of the Wenja around the landscape and building up structures from the friends you help nearby. On top of numerous side quests and events that you can do, it also has a main storyline you can obviously make your way through if you choose to do that. There are also resources you have to gather and a crafting system for you to upgrade your weapons so you can survive in the vast wilderness of 10,000 BC. I picked this to be on the list because Far Cry Primal really encompasses the survival kind of feeling better than the other Far Cry games that I have played before. You obviously don't have any guns, so you hunt with a spear and a bow and arrow for most of the time, which means you are up close and personal to all of the enemies that you face all the time. The landscape is covered with animals that you can hunt as well as ones that hunt you. You can tame some beasts and you can take control of your flying owl to help out on some missions or to help scout out the area. You can tame beasts from wolves to saber-toothed tigers, jaguars, and cave bears. You can also hunt gigantic woolly mammoths, which is absolutely insane. Don't forget about the Udam tribe, which is a cannibalistic tribe that you have to fight against on numerous occasions throughout the game. Not only are the graphics well done, but the characters are unique themselves. They also had to create their own language for the game, which I find absolutely awesome. I definitely recommend this game if you are more of a casual survivor gamer. At number 3, we have The Forest. It took me a long time to finally get up the courage to go out and get this game, and I was not disappointed. The Forest was initially released on May 30th of 2015 under the developer Night Games. It is a single-player first-person survival game. You and your son are in a plane crash, and you guessed it, you're in a forest. Your son is immediately taken by a bunch of cannibalistic freaks. You now have to survive by yourself, discovering the mysteries of this forest island that you're now on, and it is kind of scary. You hunt, craft, and collect resources to build up a base so that you will survive the night, because that's when they start to come out. Like I said before, I was kind of skeptical about getting this game, even after hearing a lot of great reviews, and once I got it, I sunk a good couple of hours into it, and I did not regret playing it at all. You can't imagine the sheer terror when you are walking through the woods by yourself. It's peaceful, it's green, it's lovely, and then all of a sudden you see somebody standing there. I immediately turned around, ran back to the little hut that I was making for myself, and made sure to lock the door and hide there until the morning came. As far as I could remember, this game kind of started ushering in a different type of survival game, a really true, kind of gritty almost survival type game that I really enjoy, and I know a lot of people enjoy too, other games like Stranded Deep and things like that. All in all, 10 out of 10, would play again. At number 2 now is a game I hold near and dear to my heart, and that is DayZ. Not only DayZ mod, but DayZ standalone as well. I'm sure there's mixed feelings there, but it got me into PC gaming and zombie survival, and it got me into so many different types of gaming, as I'm sure it did to you guys too. The mod came out somewhere in 2009, and the standalone game was officially released sort of in alpha February 21st, 2013 by Bohemia Interactive and Dean Hall. The DayZ mod was based off of Arma 2, while the DayZ standalone was obviously its own thing, and there's a lot of differences between the two, though they do have a lot of things in common. DayZ really focuses on everything survival, from the zombies to the player interaction, which most games do not give you in the way that DayZ does. The DayZ mod comes with many different versions of the mod. Some popular ones are DayZ Epoch, DayZ Overwatch, and Overpoch, which is a combination of the two. There is base building in both, though in standalone it is still fairly limited for the time being. One thing I do have to give to standalone is that the permadeath in there feels more hardcore, just because you don't have that cushion of a base generally to fall back on if you play a lot of Arma DayZ Epoch. I have sunk my fair share of hours between the mod and standalone, and have enjoyed and hated many hours in both games. I would definitely recommend trying out one of the two if you have not played DayZ already. I'm not sure if that's possible, but I'm sure it's out there somewhere. At number 1, we have a game that stuck with me, and I'm sure it stuck with you too. That is the Telltale Games' The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead was released by Telltale Games way back in 2012 in a 5-part series. They release every few months, but don't worry, they're all out now, so you can play the entire game as well as the second season without having to worry about when the next one will come out. The Walking Dead is an absolutely outstanding story-driven third-person game following the footsteps of Lee Everett as he takes care of a little girl named Clementine. You make decisions with Lee Everett that will decide the outcome of many aspects of the game, whether that's in a conversation or when you're in the middle of about to get into a fight with a gun pointed to your head. You will have to control his actions, sort of, and maneuver your way through so that you don't get killed. If I remember correctly, in 2013, this game won the Game of the Year, and rightly so. This game is outstanding, the story is amazing, the characters are unique, and you really fear for your life as well as the other characters. And since it's The Walking Dead, you really can't get attached to characters because they're known for dying. So I've played the first and second season of this game and loved every minute of it. If you have not played any of the Telltale games, I would highly recommend it. Things like The Wolf Among Us, and there's plenty of other ones out there that are much similar to this with amazing storylines. I'm actually going to play The Walking Dead Michonne, which came out earlier this year. If you want to watch me play it, let me know. Maybe I will record my gameplay of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. We are getting to the end here. I want to thank you for watching. Leave your opinions down below in the comments. Follow us on Twitch. I'll leave links in the description. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys later.